Hello everybody, it's your DMV team here again. Today we're going to be discussing foreclosures, foreclosure sales. What are they? What are the pros and cons? Hello everyone, it's Yanni here with your DMV team, and like I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about foreclosure sales. Typically when you're purchasing a property, you can either purchase a regular sale, a foreclosure, or a short sale. So today we're going to be talking a little more detail about foreclosures to answer any questions, concerns that you have. So first and foremost, what is a foreclosure? Foreclosure sale is usually between you and the bank or the financial institution that has seized back their assets. So typically what has happened in a foreclosure is the homeowner of that property has missed several payments, and once the process begins, and if they are unable to repay that balance or whatever case may be, then the financial institution or the bank seizes their asset, and they're going to put it back on the market to liquidate their assets. So once it's on the market and it's free to the public, it's usually between you and the bank. So some of the pros and cons, we'll talk about the pros to begin with. So when you're dealing with foreclosures, number one, usually typically not all the time, but it's below market value. So what you see in a neighborhood, what other things are selling for, typically they're below market value, below those regular sale prices. Now there is usually less competition if the property needs some work, but we'll talk about this more. But if it's not too much discounted, if it's too much discounted, we'll see how that kind of becomes a con. And number three, upgrades once you move into the house and once you've bought the house, and the upgrades that you make to the property may give property room for appreciation, obviously giving you equity and opportunity to sell that property in the future for a higher price. In terms of the cons, number one, I think a lot of people are more scared of is this phrase, as is sale. As is sale means that you are taking the property as it is. Now, in terms of foreclosures, they're not going to fix anything before you purchase the property. So, but some banks or foreclosure situations allow inspections for informational basis only, but some don't. So, but they're as is. Two, they may require more repairs than expected once you get into the property. Once you bought the property, it may be in a situation where the cost become a lot more than you expected. Number three, if they're discounted too much, like I mentioned here on the pro side, if they're discounted in terms of the price, if it's discounted too much, then you're going to probably have a lot more competition from investors. Obviously, investors are looking to buy property, usually to flip, to buy, put some repair in it, and sell it at a profit. So if it's too much discount and there's a lot of margin there to get a profit, then you're going to deal with a lot of investors. And then, four, they're harder to finance typically, especially if they have any safety issues, and if it's in bad shape. And some lenders don't even finance foreclosure. So you got to check with your lender about that. So these are the pros and cons. We always tell our clients, don't rule out foreclosure. There may be situations, even if you're not looking for something that's totally beat up, where there's some foreclosures that only require some cosmetic things. So like I mentioned here in the pros, everybody wants to move in ready to it's turnkey property, ready to move in. So if you open yourself up to some properties that may require a little bit of work, then you lessen the competition typically so that way you have less competition, so you can buy something that's easier and you don't have to compete with multiple offers. So again, foreclosures not necessarily a bad thing at all. It's just depends on each situation. Obviously, if you have more questions, concerns, don't hesitate to contact us. You can reach us at homes.yourdmvteam@gmail.com or 703-405-5182. Again, this is Yanni Kifle with your DMV Team Realty. Let us know if we could be assistance.